So, Alien Romulus has now crossed $225.4 million worldwide. Pretty bloody good. I thought we'd just talk about it, really.
Yeah, that's
Talk about
awesome.
what that means for the franchise overall, where things could go. I think it's interesting. So, I'll just shut up. Thoughts? Get your thoughts
Go,
first, Culture.
Nick. Go. Me first.
Uh,
Okay. Nick, go. Go, Nick. Go. Nick.
Even though I did not like the film as much as Mr. H
Did you watch it
did,
a second time? Sorry, or not?
I did not, because I had company. I had friends come in from out of town, so I did not make a second viewing. I am going to watch it a second time, and like I said before, I did not hate the film. There's just some stuff in the film I had issues, but I digress. I'm happy that this film is doing well. I hope it does even more than this. I said to everybody when we talked about it, I think everybody should go out and see this, judge it for yourselves, and I would like to see him involved in future Alien projects. There's a lot that I really enjoyed and loved in this film, and I love the franchise. I mean, I'm an Alien and Predator franchise guy, just like I'm a Star Wars, Lord of the Rings guy too. I mean, there's several IPs that I absolutely love, and I want to see them do well, unless they're just complete trash, like current Star Wars and current Marvel projects. But the Alien Romulus movie was not on that scale of trash for me, not even close. So I'm happy that it's doing this, and for anybody out there that hasn't seen it, if you don't want to spend that much money, go see it on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon and pay matinee prices. It's definitely worth your time to go see. And hell, I'd like to see it hit 500. I don't think it'll hit that. I'm guessing top out is probably going to be 330, 350 maybe. But yeah, it's great news for the film. I'm happy for everybody involved in the project.
Yeah. Go on then, Culture.
Hey, I'm with you, Nick. I think that this will get actually a little bit higher in the 300 million category, maybe even creep barely over the line to 400. I think that as this film continues to grow and with some delayed international release numbers, I think this will get there. The fall off was less than anticipated in its second weekend. I was expecting a little bit steeper, but or I guess it's his third weekend, excuse me. But I think it fell off about 61% last weekend, and now only 35%. It's staying in a decent number of theaters. There's not a lot of competition. That's the other thing. So, like, if you are hard up to see a film, this might be it. I think the only things coming up this weekend are Reagan biopic and the City of Dreams, which is going to be a tough watch, kind of like Sound of Freedom was, because it's basically the same kind of a conversation. But this film will bum you out, but I'm going to see it anyway. So the actress that's in it's supposed to be very exceptional, so I think it'll be well worth my time. But I've got to say that I'm thinking high 300s, so I'm with you there, Nick, but it might even creep over 400. I think it's going to do another solid weekend.
Yeah.
So maybe we end up with another, let's say 37-35 million from the overseas number, and maybe a decent 20s, or I know it didn't get there this week, but maybe another. I think it sticks around 18 because there is Jackal to go see this next weekend. So, and this is a holiday weekend here in the States, folks, coming up.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's was it Labor or Memorial?
And yeah, this is going to be one of those times where you're going. It's Labor Day, by the way, because we're going to be laboring even harder, Nick.
Yeah.
Come on now. So, but it's I think it's going to do well. I do. I think you're going to see through the week. I think you'll see probably another 20 million here in the States in revenue. And maybe somewhere around 10 in international. So
I don't know if it'll do. I don't know if it'll do another 20 million this week because it dropped down to sub 20 million. Did like $16 million. So
With the holiday weekend being this
overall,
weekend, it's
maybe.
possible.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as that because we do have a holiday weekend coming up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm sorry, but looking at the fact that it could beat out Covenant makes me very happy because that film was garbage.
Yeah.
So,
Well, basically has, hasn't it, already? Like, pretty much.
It's
not far off.
It's very close. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really
Covenant did 240 odd million its entire run, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I think it's even in this article somewhere. But yeah. Yeah. So, and I think this last weekend of It Ends With Us will be the last weekend of any performance from that film. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, there are maybe 3 films we're seeing coming out this weekend, and 2 of them are going to bum you out. So, yeah.
What are the other ones coming out?
City of Dreams is super bummer. There's another super bummer one. I'm trying to remember the name right now. It escapes me. But the other film is the Ronald Reagan biopic with Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. Yeah.
I
like Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, I'm going to see 2 of the 3. I don't know if I can see 2 bummer movies the same weekend.
So the Reagan one's not getting good reviews?
Oh no, I think that'll be all right. But it's City of Dreams will bum you out, dude. If Sound of Freedom was like at least hopeful, City of Dreams is going to like bum people out.
Oh, so it's going to be a downer.
Yeah, but it's important downer. It's getting a lot of heat in Hollywood too. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, look, personally, whatever you think of the film itself, we're not really talking about the quality of the film anyway. More just the box office. Box office numbers are pretty damn good.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yep.
I think that they will see this as pretty big success. Difficult to know overall, but I can't see why not. Again, this movie was going to be on streaming. It wasn't going to earn any money at all. They moved it to theatrical. It's done pretty damn well. So,
and one thing I will add that's kind of surprising about the numbers for this is I'm actually surprised that the international box office numbers are higher than the domestic. I figured
it's all because of the Chinese, apparently.
Yeah,
Chinese numbers.
Yeah, I figured the domestic would be a lot higher than it is right now. But yeah, overall, yeah, it's great news for the film.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's the sort of breathing new life into the franchise from a financial perspective that was needed. So again, whether you like the film or not, I liked it. It has breathed new life into the franchise from a studio perspective because of the financial. Because the studio is going to see this and go, "Yeah, goddamn, that's great," And then you got to remember as well, they've invested in what have they invested in?
Noah Hawley's
TV show.
Yeah, Noah Hawley's new TV thing. Yeah, and that could go on multiple seasons too if it's any good. What's called Alien Earth, I believe, or is that just a tentative title?
No, that's what it's called. It's officially called Alien Earth.
Okay,
which will be really, really interesting.
Yeah, if he's able to pull it off.
Nervous about that one.
I am too, but if he can pull it off and give us something neat,
great. You shouldn't be nervous. You shouldn't be nervous at all. Noah Hawley has a very long track record of very good shows.
Yeah. I want him to do a good job with it, and I want it to be intriguing. I want to see more than one corporation. I want to see more than Weyland-Yutani. I have said this 1,000 times. I want the other bad companies out there to be shown for the Marxist authoritarian corporations that they are.
Yeah, because if you read the lore, a lot of the comics and the books, there's a lot of different factions out there. It's not just Weyland-Yutani. And the thing is with the Alien Earth, like if they just would have said it was on another planet or in space somewhere, like I'd feel a lot better. But I just the thing about it being on Earth and it being a prequel is that's my only concern. about Earth.
I don't see the issue with it. I mean, look, the company knew about LV-426 from the Prometheus files. It's literally they knew about it anyway. They always knew about it. That was the whole point.
I hated
it just goes to show how
though.
nefarious they actually are. You remember these mega corporations, what side knew about it, what sort of faction within the company knew about it. I think it's interesting. We've never got to remember, right? We've only ever watched these movies from an outside company perspective. We've never actually watched a movie, and this is what I would love at one point, is a movie from the company's perspective. Because you've never seen a movie from the company's perspective, the inner workings of the company. We don't know. And I think that that's actually really quite compelling. I mean, that story writes itself. There's a lot of stuff you could do with that. You could unpack, all the different factions, different divisions, vying for supremacy within the company. Who's going to turn the most profit? What could they do? These assets that they need for these things. There's some great ideas there. I don't think it's as concerning as you think, because again, it'll be a prequel. Yeah, it's a bit like, oh, okay, interesting. Maybe maybe it wrecks the law, but it actually doesn't, from the perspective of them always knowing. And it's not Weyland-Yutani. It's not focused on Weyland-Yutani. It's focused on the Prodigy Corporation. So it's a completely different company. Weyland-Yutani is in it, but the focus is Prodigy Corporation. So we'll see. We'll see.
I just want to see. I just want to see that world, and I mean, that's the thing is, if you do a good show, you can show way more of the world than if you do one film at a time, and it costs less.
Can you imagine if they would have made Breaking Bad a movie?
It would have sucked.
That would have been bad.
You would have had to cut out so much of what Gilligan put together in that. Vince Gilligan really did a good job with that story.
It wouldn't remotely be the same, would it? That's the thing.
Yeah,
it wouldn't remotely be the same.
Yeah,
we've got some super chats about this, by the way, guys.
Oh, sweet.
He's been very, very patient because it was actually one of the first super chats this evening.
Oh wow!
2 hours ago, Doug.
Oh, wow.
VA loves horror super chat $5. I had to wait for the topic, my dude, and says, "Thank you, Mr. Agent Culture, for stating that Alien Romulus is doing good financially."
Yeah.
Some people saying it's not as crazy. It still has a third and fourth weekend to go. Well, and more.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Physical and digital sales later. Also, it has good word of mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you're 100% right. I'm surprised because I keep hearing good things. And anytime people are like, "Oh yeah, it was a pretty good movie," that's a point of feedback. I think you got to take into consideration because that's what they're going to say to everybody, not just me. Yeah. It's like, hey, did you see that movie? Yeah. Because I mean, there's a group of us that see movies. We talk about it, right? Of course, I have my group here of guys. We talk about movies all the time, but out in the real world, because I still have to get out there sometimes. That's part of the conversation. It's like, hey, what'd you see? There's not much to see. Most of the time, we've already seen it, so we talk a little bit about it. But, and that's going to be a problem, guys. The next year, I know I said it a little while ago, but the next year is going to be like, it'll be nothing to see.
We'll see. There might be some TV shows. We shall see. Darren has super chatted $6.63. It says, "Pleasant day to all of Hcast. I wish Mr. H a speedy and strong recovery." Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. When I watched Alien Romulus for the second time, I noticed that the actual brother and sister had different accents from each other. The brother had a British accent and the sister American. Well, it could be like adopted sister. I mean, they also are quite literally different skin tones as well. So there is that. Like,
maybe they're half brother and sister.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Adopted, whatever. Literally, who knows? But yeah, you are right. I don't think it matters that much, really, in the context of it, because we don't really know how they've done it. But yeah, I mean, you're right.
And they don't play that big of a role. They're not like
they don't. I don't think it's that law breaking. To be fair, yeah. I think depending on how they do it, but yeah. We've got super chat here from Accent Seller. Says, "I hate Prometheus. and Covenant, and the ending of Romulus. Another prequel is going to ruin the suspense once again of the mystery of Alien. Terror thrives in the unknown. Doesn't need to be explained. I don't think they're explaining the alien in Alien Earth, my dude. The story in Alien Earth is predominantly all about AI consciousness and synthetic bodies and things like that. That's actually the narrative, and they use Alien presumably as some form of plot device for some of that as well. The alien isn't actually the primary focus of the show, though. The primary narrative is all about synthetic humans and sort of transference of consciousness and stuff. So hopefully that will set your mind at ease. Probably won't, but maybe it will. So we also have, so we'll move on from this. We've got some other super chats which I've waited to get to, so we get off this topic.